This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are live, baby. Yes, sorry, apologies for the technical snafus. Although we're still kind of not perfect yet. We're still trying to figure out a couple of the technical issues while we're here. But we are ready to rock and roll. We'll get you ready for a little Bucks and a little Dolphins. And I know my man Joe Shad is already ready to go. He is locked and loaded. Let's bring him on for our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending report.
Thing. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joe Shad as we get ready for the game. Joe, good morning, sir. How are you doing, my friend?
What's up, Big O? Doing well here in Tampa.
I like it. I like it. Did you go to Burns Steakhouse last night? What'd you do last night?
No Burns. Apparently, it was difficult to get a Saturday night reservation, so we just went to the Rocco's Tacos. Always enjoy the Rocco's Tacos.
Yeah, you can't miss with Rocco's Tacos. They always do an excellent job. You're right about that. All right, let's get into it. When I saw some of the moves this week, and then right before game time now, we see Isaiah Ford get elevated and Jabal Shear. Is it Miami activating Shear because they want to add a little bit more to their pass rush?
Yeah, Sheard is a veteran, and the Dolphins made a savvy move adding him to the practice squad in anticipation of activating him at some point. He's a guy who's provided some pass rush and has also been capable against the run. He's the kind of guy that you want to see added here, Big O, a guy who can provide some veteran leadership, some stability. It's obviously a very young roster. And so, look, he's a solid player. Elevating Isaiah Ford ahead of Kirk Merritt surprised some, but Ford is a guy who's very trusted by the coaching staff. He has sure hands. He can actually return a punt in a pinch if the Dolphins needed a sure-handed punt return guy, as opposed to going for a big return with a Jalen Waddle or a Javon Holland. So with Devontae Parker being down in this game and Will Fuller also being out in this game, that's a big challenge for Jacoby Brissett and the Finns.
Joe, when we look at this game, obviously the way the Miami Dolphins have played the first month, it's hard to imagine that you're going to win this game. You know what I mean? But should Dolphin fans find some kind of hope in the fact that Flores has beaten Brady 2 years ago in Foxborough? Last year, Matt Patricia, also was able to beat Brady. You look 2 weeks ago, New England Patriots, they lost to Brady, but it was a tight 17-16 game. It was, within 1 point or whatever it was that game. So there wasn't a lot of scoring. Is there something about the Patriots and the ex-Patriot coaches that they have a way of slowing him down? And can Miami do that today?
I think it's good that the Dolphins have had some success against Tom Brady in the past. 3-3 in their last 6 games. They've defeated him 12 times overall. They've intercepted him 27 times. Guys like Xavier Howard have had multiple interception games against Tom Brady. Eric Rowe has intercepted Tom Brady. The Dolphins catch a break in that Byron Jones and Xavier Howard are both healthy and eligible for this game. So you need to have a lot of defensive backs with excellent coverage skills to have a chance against Tom Brady, and the Dolphins do have that. So I agree with you. I feel a little bit more confident about the Dolphins' chances to stay in this game defensively, Big O, than offensively. Offensively is going to be a massive challenge because you'd like to run the football, but the Bucs are number one in the NFL in run defense, and obviously the Dolphins still have a lot of problems on their offensive line, and now a reduction in weapons. So, who gets involved? Obviously, you need Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki involved more. Maybe you get Myles Gaskin involved more in the receiving game. Does Preston Williams? Does the light bulb finally come on for Preston Williams? This is the game. Preston Williams has wanted this opportunity. He was not happy to be a healthy scratch recently. And so, you know what? If you are healthy, show the world that you still have some of that unicorn status in you that you showed as a rookie.
I'm with you there. Now, before we get to the offense and ask you, let me follow up on the defensive side. That when I talked to you about getting after Brady, Jalen Phillips has been showing some signs now. Christian Wilkins has improved his play. Emmanuel Ogbah has actually played well so far in the first month. I know that a lot of people, it's hard to point out a lot of players who are playing well for the Dolphins in the first month, but Ogbah has actually done a nice job overall in the first month of the season. Pass rush. Yeah, we know the secondary's got to stay with those amazing receivers, but the pass rush for the Dolphins, is it getting to the point where it can make an impact in this game today?
I think the Bucs have a decent offensive line, and obviously Brady is so hard to sack in general. The metrics are interesting on this thing. The Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the NFL at sacks, even though they blitz about as much as everyone. But they have created some pressures and hurries, and they have some quarterback hits. Guys like Ogbah and Phillips and Van Ginkel and Guavin have been just sort of a step slow in the first 4 games of the season. So it's very, you generally don't want to blitz Tom Brady. And so I would guess that the Dolphins will back off on the blitz and hope that Jalen Phillips can make one of those great plays that he showed last week. I mean, there was that one play in particular that you might have seen on social media where he converted speed to power, bull rushed past an offensive tackle and put him on skates. Very impressive. I mean, this guy is the complete package from a physical standpoint, Jalen Phillips. And so it's nice to see Josh Boyer and Brian Flores give him a chance to just rush the passer, not worry about having to drop back into coverage and just get after the quarterback. And, I think he got a half sack last week. Maybe he finds a way to get his first full sack this week.
All right, Joe, I'm going to ask you the impossible freaking question. How do you get Jacoby Brissett to play better, my brother? He plays scared. He leaves plays on the field. He doesn't take the chances that he needs to take when there are open field receivers downfield. He'll still be kind of a check down Charlie in a way. He doesn't open it up till the end of the game when there's desperation. I know you guys asked and talked to the offensive coordinator about this week. What do you do, my brother? Because if you're going to win a game like this, you've got to have some aggressiveness to this whole thing. You've got to take advantage of situations that might come up in this game. You're not going to get a lot of them against that defense. So when does Jacoby become an opportunistic player?
Well, this is his last chance, right? I mean, all signs are that Tua is on track for London. So what I wrote in the Palm Beach Post was, let it fly. Let it fly. What do you have to lose, man? Let it go. All those dreams you had about wearing a Dolphins uniform as a kid in Palm Beach County, try to make them come to life. Talk them into existence. And but the problem is that without Will Fuller and Devontae Parker, to George Godsey and Eric Stoodsville and Charlie Fry and all those guys, when they come together in the room to try to figure out a way to win, and Brian Flores, do they say, well, you know what, guys, as much as we wanted to attack this Bucs defense, which is worse than the league in pass defense, the best chance for us to win is still to kind of play it conservative. A lot of short passes to Jalen Waddle, maybe get Hunter Long involved across the middle, Adam Shaheen involved. I mean, listen, the Dolphins don't have a lot of receivers today, but Mike Gesicki's a receiver. Hunter Long is a receiver. You know what I mean? Myles Gaskin can be. Savon Ahmed can do the same things Jakeem Grant did, I would have more confidence. I would have as much confidence in Savon Ahmed running a Jakeem Grant or Albert Wilson route as Jakeem Grant or Albert Wilson. So who knows? The problem is they haven't come up with the solutions yet. Savon Ahmed should be a part of the solution. Myles Gaskin should be more a part of the solution. Adam Sheen and Hunter Long, figure out a way to capitalize on their strengths. It hasn't happened yet, man. It's been very disappointing, very frustrating. Maybe we see that they actually come up with some solutions today.
Yeah, let's hope so. I would love to see Savon Ahmed become a bigger part of the offense, especially as a wide receiver coming out of the backfield. I think he can create all kinds of mismatches. In fact, I haven't seen enough of those guys as receivers out of the backfield, and I think they can be real weapons. One more thing before I let you go. Raekwon Davis, how big of a factor do you think he can be today? Because that's a guy they sorely missed.
I'm not sure how many snaps Raekwon Davis is going to play. Head coach Brian Flores admitted that he is rusty, and he looked rusty from what we could see in the limited practice. But even if he can only play 20 snaps in critical run situations, I think that will be very helpful, because as good a veteran as John Jenkins is, he's nowhere close to the player on run defense as Raekwon Davis is.
So I would imagine you have the Bucks in your prediction, right? Today?
Yeah, Bucks by a lot, but I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, me too. I hope you're wrong, because I've had enough of losing for the last couple of weeks. I would like to start picking up some wins. It's a lot better to do a post-game show after a win than it is after a loss, just like you. It's a lot better to deal with players and coaches after a win than after a loss. It's, the people don't realize how much we'd rather cover winning. Losing is not fun for especially for a writer, when you got to go in there and ask somebody, hey, tell me about your failures. I mean, it's tough, dude. It's tough. I know it ain't easy.
His schedules remaining, but what does that mean at 1-4? 1-4 is Panic City, baby, as Tampa's Dick Vitale would say.
Yeah, I know. You're right about that. All right, Joe. Enjoy the game, my brother. As always, we enjoy your insight, my man. Thank you. Be good. There you go. The American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com.
All right, we are back. Inactives are in. Trill Williams is inactive, along with Noah Igbenogany, Devontae Parker, Greg Little, Hunter Long, and John Jenkins also inactive. So Jabal Shear being activated, that has put John Jenkins on the inactive list. Interesting move there. And whether it was Trill or Noah Igbenogany, you were wondering if they would activate another corner, because remember, Byron Jones was nicked up this week. So was X, and both guys showed up on the injury report earlier in the week. And then by Friday, everything was kosher. Everything was ready to go, which is a beautiful thing. By the way, we do want to apologize. I know that the video isn't coming in nearly as clean as normal. We still are having some technical issues, and we're trying to resolve them. Hopefully, we'll have them resolved for you by the post-game show, and everything can be nice and strong there on all fronts. We've got, let's see, on the chat board there, says, eat up the clock, keep Brady benched. That would be nice, but they're going to have to run the ball to do that, my man. They're going to have to control the line of scrimmage, and that's something that the O-line has not proven to do yet. So they're going to have to come up with what they have to do is get some big plays. They got to hit some big plays. Jay Gelfin says, good morning, Orlando. Unfortunately, on any given Sunday, isn't this Sunday? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You know, I'm not going to say that it's impossible for the Dolphins to win today, Yeah, I know they're supposed to lose today. That's the facts. They're supposed to lose today. They're not better than the world champions. I mean, that's just the way it is. I get it. But as I mentioned to Joe Shad, New England and former New England coaches have had some success against Brady, including the one we have here in Brian Flores. And he beat Brady at home when he needed it most 2 years ago. And Matt Patricia, who, is walking around with a bird's nest on his face, that guy actually beat, Tom Brady. And last week, Bill Belichick had a chance, almost beat Tom Brady in a really close game. So hopefully Brian Flores can do enough. And the secondary, Byron Jones, and of course, what's it called? Nick Needham. Those three guys are going to have to bring it. Safeties are going to have to play a great game. This is why I asked Joe Shad about the pass rush, because the perfect storm may be brewing, Miami Dolphin fans. Wow, how about that? Christian Wilkins is playing well, probably playing his best football of his career so far. He has played, the last couple weeks, especially last week, had a pretty good week. And Jalen Phillips, the last 2 weeks, has shown signs of improvement. And so all of a sudden now Inagba has got a sack and a half already, and he's got a bunch of pressures, and he has been right there. I mean, right there to get a few more sacks. So maybe, just maybe, the D-line is on the brink of breaking out and getting after the quarterback. And if you can do that to Brady, if you can get him uncomfortable and get him moving around, don't allow him to stay there planted and ready, because you're done. If you do that, forget about it. He's going to get rid of it in 2 seconds. He's going to make the right decisions. But if you get him out of his spot and make him move around and reset, those are the things that will slow the offense down. It's not so much that you're going to be sacking him a ton or forcing him into mistakes. But what you will force him to throw the ball away. Okay, you will force him to waste downs. That is very, very important. And the guys that I just mentioned, you add a Seiler, you add a Van Ginkel, who has yet to really start playing well, but he can feed off of the other guys if they're playing well and attracting a lot of attention. You know what I mean? Jabal Sheard is a guy that they just activated, and because they didn't activate or they didn't keep John Jenkins activated, I think John is more of a run stuffer. Well, Jabbar can help you in the run, but also adds a little pass rush. So I think they really want to try to get after Brady and disrupt that pocket, make him move, make him reset, because he's not the quickest dude in the world. He's quick with his mind and his arm, but his legs aren't quick. So you've got to try to get him out of his spot. And if you can do that, you might just be able to slow that offense down. I mean, they've got incredible weapons. Evans and Godwin and Brown, and they've got good tight ends and Braid. And I know Gronk is out, but Braid is still a damn good tight end overall and can do some damage. And especially when you've got a great quarterback, then your tight end is always going to be an impactful player. You know what I mean? So it's really important to get that pass rush going, because if you can shorten the amount of time the corners have to cover, that's great for any corner in the league. Okay, I don't care who you are. You could be some of the best corners in the league. If your receiver has 3 or more seconds to run around, it just becomes a near impossible task to stay with any wide receiver for any length of time like that. You start getting over the 3-second mark, it's over, man. I don't care if you're X. I don't care if you're Jalen Ramsey. I don't care what corner you are in this league. You're going to get burned. So part of it is the guys that I just talked about getting after Brady, and then obviously the secondary doing their job overall. And let me tell you, the safeties are going to be big too, because they're going to try to get the tight ends involved. Linebackers are going to be important because Brady will throw to his running backs also. Brady will spread the ball around. This is a bitch of a game. It's a bitch of a game. But if the Dolphins can come out and play a good football game, I don't want to lose, but I'm just saying, if it's at least a competitive football game that in the end you said, hey, man, Dolphins were competitive. They even had a chance to win this game. They kept it close. They lost a tight game. You could start to feel better about the team. And it sucks. I know they'd be 1-4, but you've got a pretty easy schedule, or at least the schedule gets easier for you for the rest of the way, and a lot of winnable games. All you got to do now is, what we don't want to see is crappy football. You play a shitty game and you get routed by 35 points and you don't look competitive and you don't look like you're, figuring anything out. Then the remaining 12 games don't look nearly as hopeful. But if you come up with a hell of a performance, even though you come up short, the next 12 games, you're going to say to yourself, okay, well, you play the way you played against Tampa, you're going to win most of those 12 games that are left. You play terrible against Tampa, and I know what we're all going to say. I know what you're going to say. I know the calls on the postgame show. I know the tweets I'm going to get. I know the texts I'm going to get. I know exactly what's going to go on. Okay, all hell's going to break loose, as Kiss would say. But we need a respectable performance. That's what we need today. As Dolphin fans, that's all I'm asking for. I would love to tell you next week I'll demand a win. I can't demand a win this week, but I can demand a professional performance. That's what I can demand. I think that is more than a realistic. It's a very realistic suggestion. In other words, for this team. Let's see. The screens always work for some reason with Brady. Shaking my head. Well, he'll do anything to win, my man. Leon Fresco says we need to see players that are conscientious and who care about the game. Leon, I think most of the players care about this game. I really believe that they do. They just have not prepared well. They've made some mistakes, and I think some players are just bad. Like Jacoby Brissett is Jacoby Brissett. I don't know if you're going to change that. I don't think it's a matter of him not caring. I think Jacoby Brissett cares as much as anybody out there. I just think he is what he is. And if he plays scared, he plays scared. That doesn't mean he doesn't care. Let's see. AJ better have a really short leash today. You talk about Jacoby Brissett, you mean? Hey, I see what you're saying. Jay better, you mean Jacoby Brissett have a better. Okay, I got you. I don't know if that, I don't know if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen. I got to be honest. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think they have any intentions on playing Sinet unless Jacoby Brissett is, practically a criminal out there where he's just throwing stuff away and it looks like he's paid off or something. He's got to play so terrible and throw, a few interceptions, and then maybe they'll get him in there. But if he's the guy that we've seen the last couple of weeks, they'll probably, stay there with him because they don't want to put the young guy in there and put him in a difficult position. Raekwon needs to have a monster game, fresh legs. Carl, he may have fresh legs, but he may not be also in shape, and he has to get in football shape. So that isn't that isn't that easy, and that's not going to happen in one game. So I doubt Raekwon is going to have the kind of game that we'd all would like because he may not play the amount of snaps we need. He may only play 25, 30 snaps today. Ragin says, no, he's asking Lisa if they're headed to the distillery today. Thomas Jensen says, let's cross our fingers that X and Jones play the whole game. Do not want to see Coleman at all. I'm with you, dude. I definitely don't want to see Coleman. What else do we have here on it? Lisa says, still believing in our boys. Finn's way up. Let's turn this around. I'm with you, Lisa. I'm still believing in the boys. I'm still not ready to give up on anybody. And hopefully the next couple of weeks start to, turn things around and make the Dolphin Nation feel better, man. I liked Ford until he gave up all of those drops against the Bills. David says, no reason this can't be a game Miami steals like the Rams or Cardinals last year. I think so. I'm not going in with this game where, oh, my God, they're dead in the water. There's no way they'll win and all that. That's a bunch of crap. I'll be pleasantly surprised if they win. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm not going to be shocked that they won. I've watched Flo in the first 2 years win games he's not supposed to win. I've watched their defense at times, come up with big-time plays. Who's to say they can't do that today? They've got the corners. They've got young people on defense that can make an impact. It's just a matter of maturing. And here's the interesting dynamic about a football team and players. And this is something that happens a lot in sports. We don't know when someone, i.e. Ben Roethlisberger or Drew Brees, is going to get old on you. You have no idea when it's going to happen. It could be from one season to the next. It could be 1 week to the next. It could be 1 month to the next. And last year we saw that Big Ben and Brees were done. And Big Ben came back and he still looks done, and Brees realized that he was done. Well, it's the same thing as maturity. You really don't know when a young team is going to mature. You don't know when all of a sudden things are put together and you start to put on a run, or you start to become a solid unit on offense, a solid unit on defense. We never know. But I will tell you this, and I've mentioned it already in this first hour, and I mentioned it throughout the week. There are signs of Christian Wilkins. There are signs of Jalen Phillips. So there are some signs that you're starting to see some of the young guys starting to play well. Javon Holland is a guy that gives you a little flashes too. So all of a sudden, if these guys start to pick it up, and Van Ginkel has had a really fine start to his career in his first 2 years, if he can get on track too, Agba can play, X can play, Byron Jones can play. So you've got guys that Seiler's another guy that can really help you out. So I think you've got enough guys that can get it done for you. You know what I'm saying? So there's this whole thing like with the Heat right now. The Heat have their veteran guys in Lowry and Butler and PJ and all that kind of stuff, right? And then you've got the young guys. And you've got the young guns, and you're hoping Tyler Hero can start to shoot it the way you need him to shoot it, and that Duncan continues shooting it the way he's been shooting it, and that Bam becomes a little bit more aggressive, and that the Strus is loose. And you know that if the young guys come up and start to play well for the Miami Heat, the defensive guys and the veterans that they have on this team, Butler and Lowry and all these guys, can help you immensely on the defensive end. And they can help you on the offensive end, but you don't want them to carry you also on the offensive end because it's too much of a burden. You need that balance. The Miami Dolphins have a chance to find that balance on defense. Is it today? Is it today where they put it together, where Agba and Phillips come together and meet at the quarterback, where the offensive line says, oh, shit, we got to deal with 2 werewolves now. We've been worried about Agba, but we don't worry that much about Phillips because he's Phillips he has come to play. Is Christian Wilkins and Seiler and those kind of guys going to create havoc on that D-line? Can you start sending Jerome Baker like you did last year after Tom Brady? That would be nice. I would like to see the Jerome Baker from last year. There are elements of this defense that if the balance is right, it can come together and be pretty special. I'm not telling you they're going to go out and become the 0-1 Bucks or the 0-3 Ravens or the 16 Broncos or anything like that. But what I'm telling you is the elements are there, and you got a chance to, put it together and be a really good unit. But we don't know when that moment is. We don't even know if the moment's coming. But there are some signs. There are rumblings. Rumblings like minor earthquakes in a volcano until you get the major one and you get the explosion. And today we're hoping that that's the explosion that happens at Raymond James Stadium. The Dolphin defense wakes up. All right, let's wrap up hour number 1. Let's get ready for hour number 2. By the way, at 12:30, Marcel Louis-Jacques, who is the ESPN NFL Nation reporter for the Miami Dolphins, he's going to join us at 12:30. We will take your questions on the text line there on YouTube, on email, Yahoo email, Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com, Twitter, Big O Show. And, of course, the text line, always open for you guys, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Cash App or Venmo. If you want to make a donation to the show at Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, Cash Big O Show. We're coming to you live from Sportsgrill right here in Miami Lakes, right off of 154th and the Palmetto. Come on out, join us. Get ready for the 1 o'clock game. We will be out here. We'll carry you for the post-game show. We'll have Flo's press conference. We'll have the players' press conferences. We'll have all of that. And, of course, some delicious wings. So come on out. Let's get ready for the 1 o'clock game between the Dolphins and the Bucks live. And don't forget, next week we're here starting at 7:30 in the morning. We're going to have chicken and waffles. We're going to have shrimp and grits. We're going to have breakfast here with the Dolphins next week, because next week it's the Jags game in London. It's a 9:30 game. We're going to be here at 7:30 in the morning, rocking and rolling. All right? Yeah. Sean's already pumped up. What's got you going? The chicken and waffles or the shrimp and grits or what else? Both. Look at that. It's chicken and waffles pregame. It's shrimp and grits at halftime for Sean. That's what's going to end up happening. He's going to be a happy camper by the time we get to postgame, because Tua will play well. He'll throw for 300 yards. He'll lead them to a victory, and Sean will be with a full stomach, and the Dolphins will kick the Jags' ass. Now it's time to beat the Bucks. That's what they got to do today. Shock the world, beat the Bucks. Let's take a break. Hour number 2, live from Sportsgrill in Miami Lakes, is next.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sportsgrill and their 7 amazing locations.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back here at Sportsgrill in Miami Lakes. Sean Stanley by my side, executive producer, man that puts it all together. And there we go. I adjusted the camera a little bit because it was leaving out the logo. And, that's disrespectful. Can't leave out this logo, bro. I mean, it's the greatest logo ever created. You know what I'm saying? That's why we've got them on our Sportsgrill frame here on the outside. I always tell Sean, hey, make sure you put the old logo. He goes, I get yelled at if I put the new logo. I am all about the old logo, bro. I cannot. I think the old logo is coming back. I do. I believe that they will surprise us in the next couple years here. That, hey, we're bringing back the old logo. I'm sure they'll add a little modern twist to it, which they should. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think they'll do something like what I've got here, pretty close to it, because I think everybody, the cool thing is even young people appreciate the old logo. Sadly, there are young people that like the new logo. Like, they kind of go with it, It's sad, but then again, they've been treated to bad football for 20 years, so they don't know any better. But so, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. But eventually, the old logo has got to come back, man. I just got to tell you. Two Extreme says, I love our Dolphins, but this game is going to be a bloodbath. Come on, man. Have a little faith. Have a little belief that they can actually keep this game close. They've in the flow era, okay? Look, what you guys have to do, some of you out there, some of you men and women out there, what you need to do is stop living in the past. I get it, man. The last couple of weeks have sucked, and it's been rough, and the Buffalo loss was just demoralizing. I get all of that. But in the flow era, there have been times that defense has stepped up, and in games that you thought were going to be, mismatches or blowouts, they ended up winning those games. Okay, so at times when you think you're going to lose to Arizona or the Rams or the Patriots, you end up winning. And Miami's done that. A lot of people picked the Patriots. Most people picked the Patriots in week 1. And Miami ended up eking one out. I'm sorry. I just have a hard time going into this whole negative vibe that a lot of you want to choose to go in and want to live in that world right now. There hasn't been enough proof for me yet. Maybe I'm there with you in a couple of weeks. Maybe, okay, I give in and I say, okay, yeah, it is as bad as you guys think it is. But I'm just not there yet. I got to give, I'm disappointed in Flo and some of the decisions he's made, some of the things he's done so far this year. But I'm also hopeful because Flo has corrected issues in the past in his first 2 years. So in my eyes, he's earned the right to go fix this. And hopefully in the next 13 games, starting today, he starts to fix this thing. And we start to feel a little better and maybe a lot more prideful about the Miami Dolphins. But I'm not with you too extreme. I can't sit here and just be completely negative and think, okay, this is going to be a slaughter and they have no shot when football's a strange game, man. Sometimes the unexpected happens, and I would not sit here in the postgame show and tell you, oh my God, I'm totally shocked that they won. No, I'm not. I'll be pleasantly surprised, but I'm not going to be totally shocked. I think the Dolphins have, a slim shot. It's slim. It would be bigger if it was Tua. But Jacoby actually is the part of this equation that hurts me the most in the hope part. You know what I mean? That's the part that, believe it or not, I have more hope that the offensive line can hold up just a little bit today. I have more hope that the defense can go out there and make a lot of plays. I have hope that the special teams unit can do a good job. Jacoby Brissett, he's the one guy that doesn't give me a lot of hope. That's the one thing that I got to admit going into this matchup, man, I fear it. Because after watching the games the first 4 weeks, and especially the last couple of weeks with him at the helm, watching plays that are available and he's not making them, and watching some of the conservative decisions that he has settled for, and the fact that he doesn't pass the ball deep until he has almost no choice at the end of a game, it's almost like he plays scared. I wasn't a big Jacoby Brissett guy as it was. Now, oh my God. Now I want nothing to do with the guy. So he is the one guy that really gives me a negative vibe because I don't have any faith in him. I haven't lost faith in anybody else on this team, but in Jacoby Brissett, I've lost all faith. I have to admit that. Can't lie to you guys. Let's see. Looking forward to seeing more of Flores' Philbin-esque coach qualities on display today. That's what Seti says. Ray says, Brissett's statue, Brissett, yikes. I don't like it. God help us. Tom Stockel says, it will be interesting to see how both the Patriots and Bucs play today after their emotionally draining game last Sunday. Only thing is, Tom, that the Patriots lost. I can see what you're saying about the Bucs, that maybe they go in and take them lightly, although I don't think Brady will take the Dolphins lightly because the Dolphins always play him tough. So there's no way, even when the Dolphins lose, most of the time they play him tough. So I know that they're going to have Brady's attention. As for Belichick and the Patriots and Mac Jones and all those guys, they're desperate for a win. They're 1-3. So I don't believe there'll be much of a hangover for the Patriots. The Patriots, it may be that they're just not a good team, and they're just kind of playing over their heads and playing pretty hard and all that and fighting and coming up short, but they're not very good. Maybe that's the case for the Patriots. We'll find out. I told you at the beginning of the year I didn't think they get to 500. So we'll see if I'm right or not. Brandon Wayne says 10-point underdog now. Everyone's thinking Miami gets blown out. Expect a close one now when it's really unexpected. So true, right, Brandon? So true. When everybody goes one way, you just go the other just for the hell of it, because when the masses go one way, man, it tends to be completely wrong. You never know. Do you think they underestimated the importance of Ryan Fitzpatrick and Kyle Van Noy last season? Well, my man, that is all Flo's decision. Flo brings in Van Noy, gets rid of him. Flo brings in Karras, gets rid of him. Flo brings in, what was the name of the former UM lineman that's in Washington that you brought him here? Flowers. Eric Flowers, thank you. Flowers brings him and gets rid of him because he feels he can coach up the young guys. And Fitz, I don't think he wanted the shadow of Fitz over Tua because then everybody's clamoring, or not everybody, but a lot of you would be clamoring for Fitz on one bad pass by Tua. So I think that was the case behind it. But that's where I'm disappointed with Flo. I think he made a lot of bad decisions. I'm with you. I only wear things with the old logo, says Jeff Fernandez. Exactly. Old logo for me or no logo. I just can't. I just can't stand the new logo. I think it's one of the worst looking. Like the Panthers did a great job with their new logo. I still love the flying cat. It's still my favorite with the broken stick. It's awesome. It's one of the greatest logos of all time. Period. But the new Panther logo is classy. It looks good. Marlins. Oh my God, I can't stand the Loria logo. The Loria logo was terrible. The original Marlins logo is so awesome, so classy, so perfect. But Jeter's clan did a really good job with the new logo. I like their new logo. I like their look. I like the, how it goes with the modern times and stuff. And it has a little bit of that Art Deco-ish to it, which is very Miami. I thought Jeter and Sherman's group did an awesome job with the rebranding. Now, is it better than the original Florida Marlins logo? No. That logo is just phenomenal. Bless Wayne and company, and rest in peace, Wayne. And they did an awesome job with it. But the Dolphins, they have one of the greatest logos of all time, my favorite logo of all time. And they came up with an ugly ass whale that just is terrible. Terrible. Do you like the new Marlins logo? Do you approve of were you a fan of the Loria logo?
No, I like the new one.
All right, the new one is good. How about the Panthers? Do you approve of the new Panther logo?
I like the Panthers.
Right? Yep. But you're like me. You still like the original one. The jumping cat is still.
Yeah, but
so you like the new one more?
I do kind of like the new one.
Okay, I've heard that before.
It's a little more cleaner to me. That's the only thing.
It is. It's a clean, classy look. Mm-hmm. You're right. That's what I love about the original Florida Marlins logo.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, it's super classy, dude. It is so awesome. The detail to it, everything is just so awesome. It really is, man.
Yeah, because the new Dolphins one looks like a beluga whale.
Oh, God, it's so terrible. It's so terrible. Can't stand that logo. Can't wait till they... Actually, we're going to have a celebration of all celebrations when they finally dump that logo. You know what we should do? We should all, bring stuff and burn it like they did with like they did with the disco albums back in the day in the White Sox game. Disco sucks and all that stuff. That's what we need to do. Burn whales. Not the real whales, just the ones on the Dolphin logo.
So you may want to throw out the disclaimer.
I don't want the PETA people to get all. No. We want to burn the whales that are on the Dolphin logo. That's what we want to do. I don't think it will be a bloodbath like Buffalo. Miami should play a competitive game. I hope so, man. I hope so. Old logo from the late 80s is the best. As long as it's old and I know they tweaked it a little bit back in the day. I don't have a problem tweaking it a little bit if they want to tweak it. That's fine. I get it. Just don't change it up, man. Just don't change it up. That's all I'm saying. Big O, do you agree Austin Jackson is a bust at tackle? If he fails this game, would he work out at guard? Andrew, I have no idea. I don't know, my man. Now, right now, Austin Jackson looks terrible. That I can't argue. But here's the thing. If you move him to guard and he becomes a good guard, it becomes a heck of a pick. Because it's the 18th pick. Guards are taken at 18 and 20 and 15 and 10 and 30 and 42nd all the time. So if he ends up as a guard, I don't care. Remember, I have prepared you guys for partial failure. As I've told you many, many times, they invested 5 draft picks on the line here in the last couple of years. Remember, they're not going to hit on all 5. So 2 to 3 of these guys have to either succeed or fail. Which ones they are, I have no idea. But there's no way they hit on 4 of them or 5. There's just no way. And if they do, then obviously you've got one amazing front office. You know what I'm saying? But it's still too early to even give up on Austin Jackson, who looks terrible. Because plenty of linemen take years to figure things out. 2-3 years sometimes. On average, they usually take 2 or 3 years. Unless you're one of those, high picks that are can't miss type players. Those kind of players sometimes, a lot of times make a quick transition. But most of the guys that they took, man, those are their projects. So you don't know when the light is going to go on for them. And maybe Austin Jackson's light goes on halfway through this season at another position. Or maybe he gets benched. Then they bring him back again to be a left tackle. And all of a sudden the light goes on. Remember let's go back to the conversation that we don't know when maturity is going to happen. You just don't know when that light's going to go on. Just like you don't know when the light's going to go off and the career is over and you look old and you're not that good anymore and you're slower and you can't hit the shot. You can't defend. You can't throw the ball. You can't, whatever sport you're in. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, you're just not the same player anymore. Just don't know. But I'm not ready to give up on, believe it or not, I'm not ready to give up on Austin Jackson. Caleb Rhymes says, Will Fuller and Parker being out, do you think we will see Waddle go deep more? Yes, I do think we will see Waddle go deep more, but you can go see Waddle go deep more or any other receiver go deep. But my friend, the key is, will the quarterback have time to throw that pass? That's the real question behind all of that. And Caleb, thank you for the love there, a little love on the super chat. Very nice of you, sir, giving us love on super chat. Remember, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show, and remember you can also send in a question on Cash App or Venmo. So if you do send one in and you've got a question, which Tony Sagales, thank you, sir, giving us a little love on Cash App. That is very nice of you. Appreciate you. Let me see if you didn't send in a question, but let me see if there's anything on Venmo. No questions on Venmo. So Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Thank you all out there as always. However it is you support us, come on out here, man, to Sportsgrill out here in Miami Lakes. Remember, we're going to be out here for 3 more games, right? This is the 5th game, correct? No, yeah, right. 5th game. So this is the 5th game. We got 3 more games here. And then the final 9 games, we're going to be at Bird Road in 114th. Next week, we're here at 7:30 in the morning. Sportsgrill will be open for breakfast. So, yeah, you can have your wings and you can have a burger, but we're going to have chicken and waffles here next week. So come on out and join us for chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits and all kinds of stuff. So you can watch the Dolphins and the Jags in London and you can have breakfast here with us. So come on out and join us and have some fun out here at Sportsgrill in Miami Lakes, right off of 154th and the Palmetto. We'll put all the info on our Twitter page at Big O Show as always. But you get off on 154th, you go west. It's right there, the immediate shopping center on the north side, and we are here, and you can come on out here and join us for the broadcast. We'll have some fun. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't had chicken and waffles in a long time, man. I need to have some chicken and waffles. And by the way, I tasted the chicken and waffles from the chef that's going to put it all together. And I didn't get to eat the whole thing. I just tried it because I haven't eaten chicken and waffles in a long time. So I tried it, and it was awesome. The shrimp and grits, absolutely terrific. They're going to come up with a couple of other things, too. So you're going to have some options, plus everything else that they normally serve. So if you really want to have a beer and you want to have some wings, at 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock, you can do that. But you can also have a terrific little breakfast here at Sportsgrill in Miami Lakes. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. So please come on out here and join us. I would love to see a big crowd out here, and let's welcome Tua back. Let's hope Tua shines, which I believe he will. He should be really motivated to have a terrific game. Let's hope that Ford doesn't have the drops like he did last year when all our receivers got hurt. that's not fair to Isaiah because that was an aberration. It wasn't something that was a habitual thing. He was a pretty reliable guy, and then he had, the brain farts there at the moment. So I wouldn't want to, I don't want to kill the kid Ford, man. I I got to tell you something. I admire Isaiah Ford a lot. I really do because anybody that can um anybody that can show that kind of determination. He's been cut and signed. I don't know, man. 5, 6 times, 7 times. It's a ridiculous. Maybe it's not that much. Maybe it's like 4. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot. It's a lot that Isaiah has been cut and signed so many times. And for you to, continue the fight to try to keep your dream alive, I got nothing but respect for that with Isaiah. I find that, it's like watching Nick Needham. Here's a kid that you're a street guy. Dolphins bring you in. You look terrible at the beginning, and then all you do is find a way to get better and fight through the adversity. And he has made himself a really good little football player. So impressed with guys like Nick Needham, and I admire Isaiah Ford, and I admire his determination. In life, it's so easy to quit. It's so easy not to fight. And the hardest thing to do is to not quit. The hardest thing to do is overcome failure. The hardest thing to do is to prove people wrong that tell you you can't do something. And somehow or another, Isaiah Ford is continuing that fight. And teams are continuing to give him an opportunity. And I got nothing but admiration for a guy like Isaiah Ford. So I'll tell you what, if he does take the field today for the Miami Dolphins, I will definitely be rooting for him to have success because people like that are great examples for any of us in any walk of life because we all fail. No matter what, we're all going to fail at something. And that's usually how we get good at something, by failing. But the last thing that you ever want to do is be a quitter. And that's one thing I can say about Isaiah Ford. That guy ain't no quitter, man. Guy's got a lot of character. Give him a lot of props. I will. Darren Lee says, with Parker and Fuller out, was hoping to see Merritt today. So was I. And I think they went with the experience of Ford instead of the inexperience of Merritt, which tells you that no matter how bad Jacoby Brissett plays or how mediocre he is, they will not go to Sinnott unless Jacoby is just going out there going, like Oprah, you get a football and you get a football and you get a football. Unless Jacoby is doing that and he's just giving the footballs away, I don't know how they go that way. So it shows you that if you're inexperienced, you're going to have to do a lot to get an opportunity with Flo. And that also tells me that maybe Reed hasn't done enough in practice to open up that door for them. That's why when we see Noah, who's a first rounder, and he's not active, then that tells you that he's got to be screwing up in the classroom. He's got to be screwing up on the practice field. He's a first round pick. If he was showing anything in practice and if he was great in the classroom and all of that, they definitely would keep him active. And they would want to play him. They would want, the second that Byron Jones or X would get nicked up, he would be in there right away. But because he's not in there right away, that tells me that he's not practicing at the level that they need. That tells me that mental errors are still happening for Noah Igbenogany. That's why they don't trust him. So there's something that they don't trust about Reed Sinnott, and there's something they don't trust about Kirk Merritt. And when you put it all together, there's a lot of youth and inexperience there. So it shows you kind of what you got to do in order to earn playing time for this coach. And those guys clearly are not doing enough to earn that playing time. And I'm with you. I love what I saw from Kirk Merritt in preseason. size, got speed, hands, toughness. You saw a different player this year than you did the year before when he got drafted. Obviously, he didn't have much of an offseason, so we didn't get to see too much from him. But yeah, no, I'm with you there. Kirk Merritt definitely is one of those guys that I thought that he would, but they went with Isaiah, and that tells me that's about experience. So yeah. Big O, if this line can hold a few seconds and if Brissett can actually look downfield, and that's a big if, there should be plays downfield because Bowles is bringing it with his blitz. Yes, he is. You're right. You're right. All right, let's talk a little Dolphins football. Speaking of bringing it, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Marcel Louis-Jacques is going to join us, ESPN NFL Nation reporter. We will talk to the young man and talk about the Bucs and the Dolphins next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CS, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right, we are back. Time to talk a little Miami Dolphins. And this is his debut on our show here. Marcel Louis. Is it Jacques? How do I want to make sure I pronounce it because my last name is Alzugaray and everybody butchers it, which I'm used to it. It's all good. But I want to make sure I pronounce it right. So how do we pronounce it?
No, it's Louis-Jacques. It's Haitian, actually. So I think a lot of people down in Miami will, will recognize it a bit.
All right, so Louis-Jacques is the way we say it, right?
Louis-Jacques. Louis-Jacques.
Okay, Louis-Jacques. Okay, I got you. All right, Marcel, man. First of all, welcome aboard, man. So you go, man, Buffalo, Miami. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a change of temperatures here, right? I mean, you saw South Beach, our amazing Haitian community. You said, all right, I got to come down to South Florida and stop freezing my ass in Buffalo, right?
Look, man, I had a great time in Buffalo. You know, obviously covered a great team, met some good people. Made no secret that I wasn't really built for that kind of winter, but tried to make the most of it while I was there. But no, man, it's a great opportunity to be down here. Great move for my career, I think. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited for 300 and whatever days of sunshine, man.
Yes, that's the beauty. Afternoon showers on the summers, but outside of that, yeah, you'll get plenty of sun down here, my friend. There's no doubt. You'll get 2 showers every day, right? The one you take in the morning, and then the second you walk outside, it's a second shower. So it's like right away. It's a beautiful thing. If you missed anything in the shower, don't worry about it. Your sweat will pick it up right after that. All right, so let's get into this game. How improbable, how impossible is it to think that the Dolphins can challenge and possibly win today?
I think you can't ever rule this team out because of how good this defense is capable of playing. I think they're capable of keeping teams in check, including the Buccaneers, but they have to be able to match on the offensive side of the ball, and that's not something that we've really seen out of this offense through 4 games this year. So, I mean, there's a chance that, if the defense plays lights out for a half, once again, like we've seen the past few games, and Jacoby Brissett with Tua reportedly coming back next week, just says, screw it, and starts chucking and starts connecting, then, who knows what will happen today. But it'll take a good defensive effort, and it'll take an aggressive offensive approach. And the latter is something we've heard them say a lot about, but we haven't seen it yet. And so, I think fans should look forward to actually seeing them put their money where their mouth is in this case.
Marcel, I saw the press conference you guys had with the offensive coordinators, and obviously it was brought up that, Brissett needs to be more aggressive. Did you pick up I'm sure you picked up a little bit on Brissett's frustrations about that when you guys brought it up, and then obviously the offensive coordinators. What do they got to do to get him to be more aggressive, especially in that first half when some of those plays are there for you?
I mean, you've heard that expression, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can prepare Brissett as much as you can. And I think they have done a good job of preparing him and setting up, calling plays for him to succeed. When you do look at the tape, there are opportunities downfield. Yes, this offensive line has one of the worst pass block win rates in the NFL. Yes.
Oh, Marcel, wait, you broke up there. You're on. Are you muted? Because are you muted? Can you check it out? Because we're not hearing you at all. We're not hearing you at all. Can you check and see if you're muted? Because we're not hearing you at all. There we go. I don't know. You there now? Let's see. No, or is it the internet? Oh, okay. All right. I think it's there. There we go. He dropped. Okay. All right. He had that. You could tell that the internet connection in the stadium. Yeah, you are. It's the internet issue. There we go. You there, Marcel? You got us?
Oh no, man! It's still. Let me try to hop out and hop back.
Okay,
you're sounding slow motion right now, and it's. I'm not. I can't understand. One sec.
All right, let's do this. Let's get him on the phone. Let's do that. Yeah, Marcel, let's get you on the phone, and then that's what we'll do. All right, let's take a really quick break here, and then let's get him on the phone. And we'll rock and roll with Marcel. Give us 1 minute, and we'll get Marcel right back on.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right, we promised you we're going to get Marcel Louis-Jacques on, and we got him on the phone because internet connection was a little funky in Tampa. Marcel, by the way, any Burn Steakhouse yesterday while you were there, or what? What's the deal? Where'd you guys go?
No, man. I went to Los Chapos Tacos, man.
Okay.
Got me some birria tacos out in Ybor.
Okay.
Yeah, man. The booty stuff is cool. Steak is cool and everything. But I'm a taco guy, man. I'm from California.
Okay.
From the West Coast.
Okay. All right. Well, you still have you? I talked to Joe Shad earlier because he's one of our guys on our show that's on with us every week. And so he told me that you guys went to Rocco's Tacos. So I didn't know if you were with Joe or not. So it looks like you guys all went in a group. But you got to, if you haven't been to Burns, you got to go, dude. That's like an experience. It's not just one of the great steakhouses. It's like an experience to go to that place. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things about, I think it's Charlie's too.
Oh,
Up
yes.
there.
Yes. Charlie's is also good, but there's nothing like Burns, dude. That place is amazing. All right. So defensively, the challenge about going against Brady. What do the Dolphins need to do in your eyes to kind of slow him down?
I think they've got to put pressure on him, and that's obviously easier said than done against this offensive line. And you have to you have to really stay true to yourself here. And, as corny and High School Musical-y as that sounds, I think with a guy like Brady, who's been in the league for 20-plus years, he has seen everything. Like, you're not going to throw some newfound defense at him newfound coverage. You're not going to disguise things that he can't pick up. None of that. So you don't want to overextend yourself by trying to do too much to, confuse him. You have to be yourself. He's been aggressive. He was, per NFL Next Gen stats last week, he was one of the most aggressive quarterbacks as far as fitting the ball into tight windows and throwing it downfield against the Patriots. So he's not afraid to let that thing rip. You're paying a lot of money to guys like Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. They have to be able to make plays when Brady gets aggressive. So it's a lot of staying within yourself. These pass rushers, they're going to have to win their matchups here. They don't necessarily have to bring them down, but you got to hit them a couple times, and you got to make them uncomfortable. You got to try to force him to make decisions before he's comfortable, because you're just, again, simply not going to confuse him in the backfield.
Marcel, one of the things that I've been talking about, Marcel, is that right now it looks like, Jalen Phillips is starting to play better the last 2 weeks. Christian Wilkins has played well. Agba has got a sack and a half, and hell, man, he's been close to a few other sacks in the first month so far. And I know that they activated Jabal Sheard, and you got Seiler and these guys, and Van Ginkel really hasn't kicked in yet. But if they can put it together, that'll be the secondary's best friend today. Because if these guys can start to be more consistent in pressuring the quarterback, and if you can get Brady off his, out of the pocket, as you know, Marcel, you've been in this division covering it. What you got to do with Brady is don't let him get comfortable back there. Keep him moving and resetting. You do that, you'll slow everything down. So how important is the pass rush? And I know it's important, but in your gut, does it tell you that it's starting to get better for the Dolphins?
Yeah, I think it is starting to improve, and that's how it goes naturally, right? The more time guys have playing alongside one another, the better the product should be. There's a lot of the same guys back, but there are some different faces in there, primarily Jalen Phillips. But it's critical, and I've said this before, that sack numbers are misleading. Everybody wants to see sacks just like everybody wants to see interceptions, but they by themselves are not indicative of a successful pass rush. It's all about time to throw and pressure and QB hits. You have to just make a QB uncomfortable, because you're paying, again, a lot of money to those guys in the secondary to make plays if a quarterback makes a poor decision. So that was the inspiration for getting Phillips this offseason. And I think that before long, you're going to see it pay off, especially with Raekwon Davis coming back. It's going to help a lot of run support as well, but it's going to eat up some offensive line attention. So I think it's critical.
Marcel, people have not complained about Flo and company for the first 2 years, but these 4 games, you got a group of Dolphins, and I'm sure you're getting a feel for it, that have lost their freaking minds overall. Should people be more patient right now with this team, considering what's gone on and the direction that they're in? Or do you feel that, the panic should be setting in because this is headed to be a really bad season?
If you're going to panic, I wouldn't do it after this game. Even if Tua was healthy and at full health, this would be a tough game for Miami to win. But, it's easy to freak out over a 3-game losing streak, especially with really how bad this offense has looked during it. But if you kind of take a step back and look at who they played, the Raiders are a good team. The Bills are a very good team. The Buccaneers are also a good team. And, if they, win or lose today, this is a good opponent. The Colts loss was a bad loss. That there's no sugarcoating that. but they did go to New England and they beat the Patriots on the road. So, I mean, I don't think that besides that Colts game, there hasn't been a lot of surprise to the schedule. Like I said, with everybody fully healthy, if you were to look back and say, okay, we lost to the Bills, we lost to the Raiders, I don't think anybody would bat an eye. And so I don't know if it's worth panicking yet. Next week, if Tua returns and they lose to a Jacksonville team that's possibly 0-5 at the time, then yeah, I'm going to start squirming a little bit in your seat. But you do have a bounce back game after that against Atlanta. You do have to go to Buffalo after that, and that's not going to be easy. But the schedule does lighten up. I mean, rather significantly after that. You've got Houston after Buffalo. You still got the Jets twice. You still got the Titans, who knows what Titans team you're going to see at that point. You still got another home game against New England. So, there are winnable matchups on the board. It's not like everything is the season needs to be lit on fire just yet. But a loss against Jacksonville, then I'll start listening to some of these complaints.
Marcel, one more thing before I let you go. I'm a Flo fan. I believe in the guy, but we're all human beings, and we're not all going to do all the right things at times. We're going to make mistakes, and Lord knows I've made like 10 of them already this morning. So did he screw up doing this? He's got a young O-line, 4 guys that either have 1 year or no years of experience with Eichenberg, of course, and a journeyman guy with an O-line coach that has no experience of creating great offensive lines in the NFL, with offensive coordinators who have never created an offense in the NFL that has had success, all in front and protecting an injury-prone quarterback who doesn't have a lot of experience. From top to bottom on that offense, there isn't a lot of experience, coaching or players. Did Flo put too much inexperience on one side of the line?
I mean, it's definitely easy to say that, but as far as Emile Jean-Pierre, you never know if somebody is a good coach unless you give them that chance.
Right. So
I can't fault Flores for giving him that chance and giving him an opportunity to kind of show his mettle there. It remains to be seen. I need to see this team at full strength in order to really make a decision on where they're at with the coaching staff. But I do think he might be at a point where there's been a lot of turnover over these past few years, and it might do some good just to kind of stick to the system. And I think that's what we're seeing here lately. When you hear Flores make comments like, I like the system in place. I think he likes that continuity. And I don't know, this is year 3. You won 10 games last year. You traded your first round pick in 2022 because you expected to be competitive this season. I don't know how much good more turnover is going to be. I think it's
I agree.
It's going to come off as panicky. I think it's going to come off as a coach who thinks he's in quicksand. And I don't think Brian Flores sees himself as a person that's in quicksand right now. But I like Flo a lot. The few interactions that I've been able to have with him, I think the team respects Brian Flores. I mean, I saw this from afar last year. If you didn't have complete control of your locker room, man, there's no other way you'd be able to pull, quarterback moves like he did last year with Fitz and Tua, and still keep the team. So I think the team does respect Brian Flores, and they'll keep playing for him. And until that day, I think everybody there is safe. But make no mistake, if things continue at this rate, really, if they miss the playoffs, I think somebody is not returning this year. There's no way that they miss the playoffs and keep the exact same staff going into the 2022 season. 0%.
I'm with you, but Marcel, you have to admit, he gave Jean-Pierre one hell of a homework to put together a line that has 3 one-year players and 1 rookie and a journeyman. Rarely in the NFL does anybody break in 4 young linemen on one line. 1 or 2 guys, maybe 3 the max, but 4, man, that's a difficult job, even for the what's the name of the dude now that I'm brain farting now? The guy from the Patriots that retired that was like considered the best of all time. You know, you know who I'm talking about.
Dante
Scarnecchia, exactly. This Scarnecchia, this would be a difficult task for Scarnecchia, my brother. Okay, for
it would be, but
I mean, damn.
We're seeing we might see a little shakeup here. Actually, throughout warmups, Liam Eichenberg's been warming up at left tackle. Austin Jackson's been warming up at left guard. So, I mean, don't be surprised to see a little bit more tinkering this game and really throughout the season until they find that best spot.
I agree with you. The only thing is, whoever's your best tackle, if Eichenberg's your best tackle, you're playing him on the wrong side. Because next week, the lefty comes back, keep him on the right side. That's all I say. I mean, if he's your best, keep him on the right side. Go give Greg Little a shot on the left. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I worry about, because next week, lefty comes back, and he got killed by his blind side. So make sure you got your best tackle on your right side now on this team. That's all I would say to that, right?
Yeah. I mean, that does make sense, but also you got to think of, man, with Eichenberg just playing him in too many positions to start his career. You don't want to get him to the point where he's thinking too much before he takes that first step.
I'm with you.
Because if he's thinking about his footwork, then he's not thinking about the guy in front of him, and he's not thinking about his assignment immediately. So you don't want to confuse the kid too much. This is not, it's not Madden. A lot of people want to bounce guys back and forth, and it just doesn't work like that. It's harder than it looks for them. So, you got to balance that out. If you're Brian Flores, if you're Lemuel Jean-Pierre, like it's an experiment. It's a work in progress, but I think they're hoping that, with a little more tinkering, that experiment's finally over.
Follow him on Twitter, Marcel_LJ. He is ESPN NFL Nation's Dolphins reporter, and we appreciate you taking some time here, Marcel. Thank you, my brother. I really appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again here on the program. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
You got it, baby. You be good out there. There you go. Marcel Louis-Jacques. Excellent work by him, and welcome aboard to South Florida. Good for him, bro. He got out of Buffalo. Holy crap. You know what it is to live in Buffalo? Freeze your ass off? I can't live in Buffalo. I go
through tables, though. That's good stuff.
Yeah, well, tables on fire.
Hey, I've been through thumbtacks.
Oh, God. Man. Have you been to Buffalo? Have you?
I wouldn't do that to myself.
Oh, man, it is a dreary place. Holy moly. I've been there. I've gone to a Bills-Dolphins game, and that is, that's not the place you want to go. I'm just saying, you don't want to do that. Tampa's not bad. Go do a little Burn Steak. That's like a law for me. When I go to Tampa, I've got to go to Burn Steakhouse. And that's the law. And then like next year when we go to the that's right, the East West Shrine is in Vegas. I can't even take you to Burns next year, Sean.
Sure, we can find an equivalent somewhere in
Vegas,
right?
No, yeah, we'll hit a steakhouse in Vegas for sure. No, I got you. It's
I could also do a buffet. I'm okay with buffets.
Well, no, we'll do that too. But I'm just saying we still got to hit I know a really good steak. Well, there's several steakhouses in Vegas, but I know a really good one that we'll go to for sure. So I got you covered. We'll be good. Liam is good at left tackle. Yeah, you're right, because he's natural. I get that. But if you decide your best tackle is Liam Eichenberg, then I want him on the right side. That's all I'm saying. I get you this week because Jacoby is a right-handed quarterback, but next week you go back to left. And with the lefty in there, put your best tackle on the right side. Now, listen, I don't want them moving linemen around all over the place. But we're only in the second year for 3 guys. We're in the first year with 1 guy. You got to figure out what their strengths and weaknesses are at this level. So one guy may have been a left tackle, but he's not good enough to play at left tackle in this league. He'll end up at right tackle. Or any of these guys that were tackles, maybe they're not good enough and they're better at guard. We don't know. Michael Dieter was drafted to be a guard and he ends up at center. And this happens all the time. The first year for the mask wearing man, what's his name? The bong smoker. What's his name? For Tunsil. He played guard his first year because they had Brandon. What's it called? What's his name now? Brandon. Whatever, the left tackle for the Dolphins a few years back. What's his name? The guy that was in Kansas City. Whatever. They had him at left tackle. So Brandon was like, in the latter part of his career. So since they needed him one more year at left tackle, they put Tunsil at guard instead. And they gave him the opportunity to play guard that first year, and then they moved him over to tackle after that. Oh, Albert Jones. That's it. Thank you. Brandon Albert. That's it. Brandon Albert. Thank you. Brandon Albert. So there you go.
We got the 8 team today for the Dolphins game?
I don't know, do we? Who is it?
Yeah, Romo's on the call.
Really?
I think so. It looks like.
All right, that's cool. So at least you guys get to know every play before it happens. That's actually really
Especially
cool.
with Tom Brady.
Yeah. Not bad. We have the Jets. Who won, the Jets or the Falcons? I don't even know.
Yeah, Jets came up just short, but
oh, shocker.
Kyle Pitts had his breakout day.
He did, huh?
Yeah, 9 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown.
Wow. Okay, good for him. Well,
yeah, fantasy tight end. So.
That's you really?
Yeah, because Kittle was injured, so I put him on the bag.
You have both those guys?
Yes.
What's everybody else got a crack pipe in your league? Is that what happened?
No, I'm not good at fantasy football, so I just go when nobody comes to my name. I probably blew up everybody's draft because I was just drafting.
Damn, dude. You got 2 monster tight ends. You should be playing one and starting the other one a flex. That's probably what I would do with those 2 tight ends.
Up and starting now, if Kyle Pitts is going to stay on this role,
right?
Yes.
Then yes.
But up until now, no, he was
right. No, that's true. Right? Yeah. He hadn't put up those kind of numbers
yet. I got Brandon Cooks as well.
Yeah, down here they would have called him a bust up until today.
He was done.
Yeah,
he got to the day.
Yeah. Today they would have. Oh God, we
Inactive.
Drafted. This guy sucks. You're typical. The Dolphins draft him and he sucks. Kyle Pitts dominated in college, but the Dolphins draft him and he sucks. DM says, I'm so sick of seeing our center standing out in space, blocking air with his arms stretched out. That's exercise, bro. What's wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with the little exercise in between the game. It's just stretching, extending muscles. Dolphins need to hope some team waves a veteran tackle that maybe they can plug in there. Xavier, if they're waving a guy, it's usually a bum. It's usually some guy done for the year. He got arrested or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I doubt there's any saviors left out there in free agency or anything like that. What you're going to get is something that's got all kinds of issues. You know what I'm saying? Age, injuries, inexperience, not very good. These are the things that you're going to have to deal with whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Oh, which steakhouse in Vegas is the best in your opinion? See, you know what? I can't answer that question. Because I haven't been to all the steakhouses in Vegas. So I'd be lying to you if I told you, because I can go to Del Frisco's, which is just off the strip, which is good. I can go to the one, it's in the Venetian. I don't know the name now. That's why I told them I know a really good one. It's in the Venetian, and it's a really good steakhouse. And I just don't know the name. I know how to get to it. I forgot the name now. In fact, I might be able to text a friend of mine, and maybe you know what, I'll text him later, but maybe I'll have it for the postgame show, because he initially took me to that steakhouse, and it was freaking phenomenal, dude. But I forgot the name. It's in the Venetian. I'm pretty sure it's the Venetian. The Venetian and Palazzo are next to each other. I think it's in the Venetian, not the Palazzo. Pretty sure. But I haven't been to all of them, man. So I can't, I'm not the guy to ask for that. You got to ask somebody that's like really been to every steakhouse in Vegas. There's a place that sells sushi and steak up on the palms at the top of the roof. I forgot the name of that one also. It's funny because I can call a chef if I want. I know the chef. I forgot the name of the restaurant. I can call the chef and tell him, hey, I'm coming over and, enjoy a little extra to the meal. But I don't know the name of the restaurant, but there's one on the roof of the Palms. That's a really good restaurant too. My favorite sushi place is the one in Paris, the Paris Hotel. I'm sorry, and that's wrong. It's in Caesars in the shops, second floor. You look out through the window, you see Paris. That's what it is. You see the Eiffel Tower. That's what it is. I don't know the name of that one either. Don't know the name of that sushi place. In the shops at Caesars, second floor. Yeah, kind of sucked there. Now that I remember, now that I think about it, I just go to places while I'm in Vegas, and I don't remember some of the names. I just thought of that. I don't know the name of the sushi place. I don't know the name of the restaurant on top of the Palms. I don't know the name of the steakhouse that's in the. I'm pretty sure it's the Venetian. Could be the Palazzo, but I think it's the Venetian. Damn, terrible. How about that? Southwest Steakhouse at the Wynn Hotel. You see? Xavier probably has got a whole bunch of them, and he knows it. T-Bone says, Big O, there's a civil war in the fish organization. Oh, give me a break. Whatever. I'm not even going to bother. Ramon Casilla says, good old-fashioned coaching is what we need. We have time. We have time to be competitive. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. What else do we have here? Vic and Anthony's at the Golden Nugget in Fremont. You see? Howie probably has been to more steakhouses than I have. So I can't, I'd be lying to you if I told you what's the best steak. I know a couple good steakhouses, but I can't tell you which is the best one. There are no cows in Vegas, plenty of cats, rats, and stray dogs. However, looks like meat is back on the menu, boys. Meat is always on the menu. All right, we are out of here. It is time to watch the Dolphins and the Bucs. We'll be back for the postgame show. Remember, next week we're here starting at 7:30 in the morning serving breakfast to watch the Dolphins and the Jags. We can have breakfast out here. So come on out and join us. We'll be back for postgame. We'll have Flo's press conference, the players. Go Fins.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sportsgrill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sportsgrill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sportsgrill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sportsgrill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show.